Are you drinking coffee in the middle of the day?
I am, because you know what? It was 33 degrees this morning and it's still cold outside. I say cold. I think it's 55 outside. So, yes, I'm drinking my coffee.
Well, you know we can't afford to drink coffee during the day all winter. It's too
Well,
expensive.
hey, it's cheaper than heat. So, I y'all saw me this morning fry some chicken, and I told y'all I was gonna come back and make some beef tips. I have this steak in the freezer, and I need to take it out, so I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna make beef tip and onions. And in my pan back here, now you can do this in a wok if you want to, but I just always use my little pan here. That's probably 2 good tablespoons of oil, and I'm going to let it get hot. Honey, I'm going to reach over you right here. Okay, while that's heating up, I'm going to show you how I'm going to season my little beef tips. And what I do, this is shoulder steak, which is a tougher cut of meat. So I put a little, probably, oh, I don't know, half a teaspoon maybe of meat tenderizer in here, because this is a tough piece of meat. But I cut mine in little old bitty cubes, just little bite-sized cubes. And to this, I'm not going to put any salt, because my soy sauce and my Worcestershire has salt in it. But I am going to put about, this is half a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of onion powder. And probably, let me see, this is soy. It's got a lot of salt. Now, if you get the low sodium salt, you can add salt to your dish, but I don't. All right, that's 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Now, sometimes I let this sit. Boy, that's coming out slow. Sometimes I let this sit for 30 minutes to an hour. You can let it sit in the refrigerator. You can fix it in the morning and have it ready when you come in the afternoons, have it marinating and all this. So, but you can do it and let it marinate 30 minutes. Today I'm doing it, I'm going to cook it in just a few minutes. As soon as my peppers, I'm going to let it marinate while my peppers and onions are getting ready. Okay, my grease is getting hot back here. So I have got some red peppers and orange peppers cut up, and I've got onion. And you see about what I do, I usually cut my onion in half, cut it in fourths, and then just cut it in little wedges like this. So I'm going to go ahead and cook them while my meat is tenderizing. And I try to get everything about the same size. My peppers and my onions. And I'm going to do my pepper steak a little bit different today. I'm going to put a little salt on this just to bring out some of that water in the peppers and onions. Okay. I'm going to do my steak a little different today. I'm going to put a little flour on it because I want it to make a gravy. I don't want it to be a real thin gravy like this would be. So this is about a half a cup of gluten-free flour. And I'm just going to coat my little beef cubes in the flour. And when I put it in the hot grease, it's not going to take this but 3 or 4 minutes to cook because it's so in such small pieces. And it's going to make a gravy. I'm going to put a little water in it. I would put beef broth, but I don't have any out. So that's just a little different way. Usually I don't do this, but since I've got some quinoa cooked, I cooked it this morning. then I want a little gravy to go with this. So that's the reason I put the flour on it. So now we're going to check on our peppers and onions. I'm going to cut the temperature back a little bit. I don't want them real soft, but I do want them, we like them like kind of al dente. Oh, it smells so good. Oh,
Just pick these peppers out of the garden.
look at that. Oh, it smells good.
It's supposed to freeze tonight, so I'm going to take about 4 of my pepper plants and trim them down, put them in pots that I can keep them over the winter.
This is some more we got out of the garden this morning, too.
And if you want some peppers like this.
These are sweet peppers now. These are little sweet peppers. And I've told y'all on a video earlier, I bought some little mini sweet peppers in the grocery store, and I kept the seeds, and it was the yellow, orange, and red ones. And this is what we got from those seeds that Roy planted, were these sweet little peppers. Just like, matter of fact, they're bigger than the ones that I bought in the grocery store.
Well, I'm going to suggest if you want these next year and you want them early, because peppers normally take a long time to grow off, go buy some of these, save your seeds, let them dry a few days, and then go ahead and plant 5 or 6 of these plants. Let them grow up over the winter near a window, and you will have them much earlier in your garden because they'll have a good root system on it. So plant them in a at least a quart or better container. Plant 5 or 6 seeds and then thin it out for one eventually, and let them grow and develop a root system. And you can put those out much earlier in the spring, and because it takes a while to get your peppers going.
Okay, I'm going to let this cook 2 or 3 more minutes. They'll be just like we want them, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to cook the steak. All right, I'm going to use the same pan. I just took my peppers and onions out.
Let me get a shot of those. Man, do those look good. And see, those aren't overcooked. They're delicious.
Okay, now I'm going to put this is some lard that I used this morning to cook to fry some chicken in. And I'm going to put my steak in here. I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I want it real hot. And this flour that I put on this is going to make a gravy. I'm going to put some water in it after it cooks.
Now this is unprocessed pork fat. This road to is lard. But it's safe to eat, even safer than a lot of the processed oils and solids that you
I'm going to put
buy in the grocery store.
I'm going to put a little pepper on that. And I turn my heat up some, and I'm going to get some water. Like I say, I would use beef broth if I had it, but I don't have any. Now, some of this flour is coming off in the bottom, but that's perfectly fine because that's what's going to make my gravy. Okay. Give me about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
All right. My meat is ready. It cooked about 3 more minutes. And as you can see, I want you to see this, honey. Some of that flour stuck to the bottom. But that's fine because when I put this water in there, it's going to make gravy. Now, I'm not that fond of gravy, but Roy loves gravy. So I'm going to turn it on up a little bit. It'd been better if I'd have put hot water, but that's okay. All right, you see it's already beginning to thicken. Now, all that flour is coming off the bottom. Now, you can do this without the flour. If you don't want this gravy and you just want your beef tips, you do it exactly the same way, just don't put your flour on it. But Roy likes the gravy, so I decided I would do it with the flour this afternoon. So, and I may have to add a little bit more flour. We'll see. But you want it kind of thick, your gravy. And you want to only cook this until your gravy gets thick because your meat is already done. And you don't want, if you cook your meat too long, this kind, it's gonna get tough. Now there's I do make one where I make it in gravy and I let it simmer for like an hour on real low heat with the lid on it. But this is what I call my quick beef tips with peppers and onions. Okay. Is that about thick as you want it, honey?
That looks great to me. I'm just ready to eat.
I want a taste of that. I'm going to turn it off. I want a taste of that gravy. Make sure it's got enough salt in it and pepper. That is good. It was hot. So, okay. I turned it off. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to bring it over here.
Wow, did those peppers and onions look good?
Mm-hmm.
Or what?
All right.
You wouldn't just put that down in there, would you?
Okay. Now, I'm going to spoon some of my beef and my gravy up like this. Now, you can mix your peppers and onions in it if that's what you want. I'm just trying to make it pretty.
Tomatoes are good in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With that gravy.
Yeah.
We don't have any tomatoes. Well, we might have one or two.
Okay. Now, that with this quinoa I've got back here.
Are you going to eat anything? This is a nice plate for me. Wow. I can eat peppers from both ends.
So what we'll do when we fix our plate, we will put our what Roy will do, he'll put his quinoa down, then he'll put his beef tips and gravy on top of that, and then he'll put his onions and peppers on top of that. And it may be also the way I do mine. And I've got a green salad. We'll have a green salad with it. But this is so quick and so easy. And I told y'all on a video, I do a lot of quick and easy things. But like I say, if you do not want gravy on yours, do not put the flour on it. Just put your seasonings on it. Let it marinate 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, all day. And then just cook it very quickly in a hot pan. So you can do it. You can cook your beef tips in the wok, or you can do it in a pan like I did. So
and servings of this are low carb.
Yes.
No carb.
Well, the flour. If you put flour on it, even though it's gluten-free flour, there's still carbs in the flour. But if you didn't put flour on it, there are no carbs. There are probably, I mean, none, hardly in this dish right here. So it's
delicious.
It's delicious, quick, easy, beautiful. It's a beautiful dish. And if you wanted to, you could even take a few of your peppers and just kind of put it around to really dress it up.
Cut a tomato over it.
Cut a tomato, yes.
You can dress it up.
Just really.
The tomato and that gravy around that meat is just
yeah.
Special.
Yep. So just a quick and easy dish that I thought y'all might would enjoy this morning. So thank y'all for joining me, and subscribe, hit that little notification bell, and I will catch y'all next time.
And we'll show you how to keep delicious and
healthy food.
Grandmama, what are you doing now?
Okay, I had to come back on and I had to show y'all this. This is my little flower pot with all my great grands. I have this out every year, but every year I am adding or at least one or two more. I can remember I started out with 3. Now, Promise is a grandchild, but she's the same age as my great grand, so she goes in both categories. She goes in with the grands and she goes in with the great grands. So I started out with her, Kale, and Chandler. And then a couple of years later, here comes Addie. Well, a year later, here comes Winnie. Then we get Adelie from Boston, from Massachusetts. Then comes Morning. Then comes Hudson. So I've got 8 in here now. And if I have another one next year, I'm going to have to get me a bigger little flower pot, or I'm going to have to do something. But
and the kids love
they love it.
Yep. Recognizing that they have one in there.
Each one pretty much knows which one is them. But this is I just really enjoy this every year. And I just wanted to show y'all. It says give thanks. And believe me, I do. I give thanks every day for my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my extended family. And I just thank the Lord that He has blessed us the way He has. So, love y'all. See you next time.